Those of you watching by video, if you can't tell, one of us are looking very different. It's Elijah. You got a haircut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
TQN branded.
TQN branded haircut.
Yeah. No, we're just recording this a lot later than the last episode.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, late start. I have a beard now. Welcome to the Quarter Note. My name is Isaac.
And I'm Elijah.
And today we are going to be talking about forgiveness. We're going to be reading Ephesians 4:32, which says, "Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you."
So, I want to ask, what is forgiveness and how can we forgive? So,
Two very good questions.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend just did a plan on forgiveness and lent me some of her notes. They're really good. And so forgiveness doesn't automatically mean everything returns to how it was. Forgiveness does not equal reconciliation or restoration. So what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is about letting go of bitterness and anger. It's a gift you give yourself and the person who hurt you. And so that's a really important thing because forgiveness goes both ways. You have to forgive yourself as much as you forgive the person who hurt you, you know? And there's a lot of people, I feel like, for the longest time, I didn't know what forgiveness meant. You know, it's kind of you hear about it all the time in the Bible, and you hear a bunch of stuff, you know, regarding forgiveness. And it puts you in this position like, okay, well, I've heard about it. I've told people I forgive them. But what does that truly mean? And one of the things that I've realized is forgiveness is also a lifetime commitment. Because when you first forgive that person and you let go of that resentment, that bitterness, any of those negative emotions, you let go of it. But in some cases, there will be times where you remember that situation. There will be times where it comes back to haunt you, and so you have to forgive again.
Yeah.
You know? I have so many times where I remember a situation I was put in, and I remember the hurt I experienced. And I already forgave that person, but it comes back and it haunts me, and I realize I have to forgive that person again. I can't, I have to just remove it from me.
Yeah, because one thing I was thinking about was when you're talking about all that was because I know a lot of people. I mean, some situations it can be hard to forgive.
Very difficult.
Because you know, there's one where I was watching a movie with my girlfriend and her grandma, and I can't remember what the name of the movie is called, but I mean, I think I talked about this in the past. It was like where this guy did something not very good to this guy's daughter, and actually it was like two guys, and so he went and took measures into his own hands and shot the two guys. And so but then after the whole movie, me and her grandma got into this like little just like debate about like if like you would like take him to trial or whatever, the guy that shot the two guys, and like and what he did, if what he did was right. And I mean, the one thing I remember I said was like, you you have to, it's hard to, but you have to forgive the people, because you have to realize that there's, evil in this world.
Yeah.
And, the product of them doing that is, I mean, no one in their right mind would normally does things like these guys do. So, I mean, you have to realize too that even Jesus forgave these people. And so you have to forgive them too. And you can't take, depending on what it is, you can't take matters in your own hands and retaliate. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting thing. And I know it can be hard to forgive people, because I've had people in my life that I held grudges for a while, and then once I became a Christian, I was like, I can't. Once I realized like Jesus forgave everybody in this entire world, past, present, future. I realized I should be able to forgive those people too, because I mean, I mean, if Jesus can forgive even the evils of people, then we should be able to forgive them too. And like you said, that doesn't mean that what they've done hasn't gone away. What they have done, like, you could forgive somebody, but that doesn't mean you have to, like, you can still distance yourselves from them, because maybe, like, what they've done was not very good, and you don't want that kind of, like, if they're very, like, they just bring, like, that negativeness all the time, and they just bring drama and stuff, it's like, you don't really want that in your life. So that kind of, I don't know what to call it, but that kind of just vibe in your life. So you distance yourselves from them, but you still treat them with kindness, and you still show God's love too to them, which is a big thing. So then they can realize that you forgave them. But whenever you do see them, that's just some of the things I say about that.
And after forgiveness, after you've made that first step of forgiving them, in some situations you can and probably should remove that person from your life. It is okay to remove people from your life. Sometimes people think as a Christian because we have to be loving and understanding of situations and everything, that sometimes might make people feel like, oh, I need to keep this person in my life. I forgave them. I still should have them around. That doesn't mean that. You can still remove people from your life when it is necessary. And you will know when it is necessary.
Yeah.
Just always pray for wisdom and guidance.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 steps that follow forgiveness are reconciliation and restoration. Reconciliation might follow forgiveness, but it requires rebuilding trust over time. It is a mutual decision to try again and take steps to heal together. And this is really important, because this means that 2 people in this situation want to work at it and make things better. Mm-hmm. Let's work on this together. Let's rebuild trust. And this can happen in anything, in a friendship, in a relationship, in, with parents, with God. I mean, God is just going to automatically reconcile and restore. But on our end, sometimes it takes us a little bit of fighting our own feelings about ourselves, with God. Um, and then you have restoration to its original state. Might not always be possible or healthy, which that's important. It may not always be healthy to restore it. It depends on profound reflection, honest communication, and sometimes professional guidance. It is an act of grace, whether it leads to mending or of two people or healing on a personal level. So restoration, bringing it back to its original state. It's not always possible. There are some situations where it's not possible to bring it back to where it was. Maybe you've been hurt so badly, you forgave the person, you let that resentment and that hate go for them, but you just can't bring it back. That trust is gone. That, and maybe that is something that does come back, but it might take years. It might take a very long time. But in some cases, it's not healthy to.
Yeah.
Because maybe they go back and they keep hurting you and they keep doing it and they don't learn their lesson. It's maybe when restoration isn't the best option.
Yeah.
And forgiving someone, and this is what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Forgiving someone doesn't mean you condone what they did. It means you're choosing to release the burden of resentment. It's about healing your heart so you can move forward. It's very important. Forgiveness is not saying, hey, you hurt me, that's okay. What you did, it's fine. It's saying what you did hurt, but I'm letting go of that resentment towards you. I don't hate you for it. It hurt me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to move forward.
Yeah. That's what it's mostly about, is I think moving forward from things from people that have hurt you and stuff, because it seems like with what you're saying, I feel like I see a lot of people, it's like if they forgive nowadays, it's like, or I guess maybe I'm just seeing this in my life and people around me, but it's like they'll forgive people, but it's just kind of, they don't really try to keep them around, like I was saying.
Yeah.
Because they did something bad, or that they're going to continue on doing it over and over and over again. But even with that, people are going to hurt you over and over again.
Yeah.
So, I think it's kind of dependent on you and what, how badly that thing that they've done hurt you. That's just a personal thing. You have to determine that yourself, because someone, I don't know, punches you in the face, hey, listen, it's not that bad. At least I didn't say anything I said from the past.
We always get to physical violence with this guy.
It's okay. You should, okay. Forgive me.
I forgive you, bro.
I'm just saying. Anyways, someone punches you in the face and, you forgive them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's you can determine if, after you forgive them, if you want to just, okay, buddy, if you want to just, restore that relationship after you, we're not starting this, now with you, laughing in the last episode.
Oh my gosh.
But determine if you want to restore that relationship with them, because I think, or I mean, that's just what you have to do is just determine, pray, and, like, should I restore this relationship? Because, I mean, some situations, too, if you restore that relationship and you show that, and you say, I forgive you, say what you said earlier, like, what you did hurt me, but I'm, releasing that burden off of, like, and that resentment from, like, of you off of me, and I forgive you. And, sometimes if you do that and stuff, they can, and you can, and restore that relationship with them, and maybe they might hurt you again. Um, they, you may bring them closer to God. You may, like, help show them, be like, I mean, and they might be like, wow. They might start asking questions.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you forgive me? And because, like, I know what I did hurt you so badly.
Yeah. And forgiveness takes time, prayer, and often support. Forgiveness from others isn't always guaranteed or immediate. What is guaranteed is God's forgiveness when you come to Him. Some important things surrounding forgiveness, too, is to heal yourself, seek wisdom, set boundaries, acknowledgement, amending, and respecting. Some important things to keep in mind when you forgive and as you forgive. In another verse, Psalm 34, verse 18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. So even when we're crushed in spirit, even when we're brokenhearted, the Lord is with us in that situation. So keep in mind that you have God on your side as you experience whatever hurt it is you're going through. The Lord is willing to forgive, and the Lord is right there with you. Just go to Him with that burden, God surrounds us with His grace, ready to support us through the process of healing and moving forward. God's promises stand firm. With God, there is always hope for renewal and growth beyond the pain. Beautiful notes.
Yes.
Beautiful notes.
That was great.
Much thanks to my girlfriend for that. But the second question we asked was, how can we forgive? That is the hard part.
Yeah.
When someone hurts you so badly to the point where you just have so much resentment and hatred for that person, it's important to remember the way that Jesus would go about it, the way that God looks at us.
What does Jesus do?
Exactly. I was going to say that. I was going to say, it might sound cliche, but ask yourself, what would Jesus do? And Jesus forgives
Can go right
everyone.
into here. He will give you the answers.
He will.
Find some verses on forgiveness, and even I think the one thing is I just thought of that where after Peter denied Him 3 times, and after Jesus went back to him after resurrection, and he asked him, like, do you love me? In that moment, he's forgiving. Obviously he probably he forgave him way before that, but like it's a perfect like example for us, about like forgiveness and what's I going with this? Like asking him, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? And then I think in that like passage somewhere they ask like, how much should I forgive somebody? Or I don't know if that was way after, way before, but I remember somewhere.
I just read that in Matthew.
Yeah.
It was Matthew. Let's see.
It was like 7 times 70.
Yeah, I think it's like Matthew 20 something. or like 19.
Yeah, but I remember, I just remember like how much should we forgive somebody?
And that is why I say, like, it's a lifetime commitment.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is a lifetime commitment.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you think about that person and that resentment, that hatred, that feeling of it comes back, you have to remember to forgive them and let it go. But, forgiveness is very hard. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes, prayer, it takes a lot of different things, and just remember to go to God with it first.
Yeah.
Always.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Actually, okay, I know what story's better than that, actually, is the woman at the well with Jesus. I just thought of that. That's a good one. Because, he tells her to go and sin no more.
Yeah.
And that's like, in a way, like how we should forgive other people is like, you're kind of being like, I hope you don't go and do that again to me.
Yeah.
I'm releasing that burden, but I hope you don't go and continue to do that to me or even other people. Because then, you don't want that to continue down that. And I like that Jesus forgave, how like Jesus forgave her and stuff, and even all the people that were gonna stone her.
Yeah.
And stuff, and then he's like, whoever hasn't sinned, like throw that first stone. Well, it's like no one can throw the first stone.
Yeah.
Because everybody's sinned, so.
I think that's the important thing to remember. We've made mistakes too. We've sinned. Yeah. We've fallen short of the glory of God every single day. So when someone does wrong against us, how are we to say to them, how dare you do this to me? I can't forgive you for that. Why don't we take a look at ourselves and think about all the things we've done to other people? We are no better than the person who hurt us. And just as we have been forgiven in the past by not only God, but by others, we should also be willing to forgive others as well. And we also need to be willing to forgive ourselves as well.
Yeah.
We have made mistakes. We are not perfect.
Yeah.
Even though we chase after God, we're still going to make mistakes and we're not going to be perfect. But we have to be willing to forgive ourselves in those moments too, and forgive others when they do wrong to us, because, again, we are not any better than they are.
Yeah, because if you don't forgive somebody, you're saying, like, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I don't do any wrong. And that's a lie.
And the verse that I always think of is also in Matthew, like, why are you trying to take the speck out of someone else's eye when you can't even see the log in your own eye? Remove the log first, then you can take out the speck, So we have to be first, look at ourselves too, and look at, what have I done too? Because if I've done bad as well, and this person has done wrong to me, I've been forgiven, I've forgiven myself, I need to forgive them too. So forgiveness is hard. Forgiveness is very hard.
I think the main thing is go to God.
Go to God.
When you have trouble with, like, forgiving somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's it for this episode. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you,
Yeah.
Hopefully this spoke some
encouragement from this.
Encouragement. But, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, we love you guys. Jesus loves you guys.
No matter who you are, where you are, and what you've done.
Catch you in the next one.
See ya.
Want to support our ministry? Go check out our merch at theqtrnote.com. We have hats, mugs, shirts, hoodies, and of course, our Good News merchandise. Go check it out.
Thank you for tuning into the Quarter Note podcast. Make sure you like, follow, comment, and subscribe. And see you in the next episode.